Blessed love, happy Monday, sending you so many peaceful greetings. How are you, life warrior? I hope that you are more than well and that you know that you are way too blessed to be stressed. Today's message is a quote. I don't really know who this quote is by. It's just something that I've been saying for a long time. So here it goes. The quote is, "A better tomorrow starts today." You know, I don't know if you do that thing. I have struggled with this for a large portion of my life as well, where we think, I'm going to start that new diet tomorrow. I'm going to start that morning routine tomorrow. I'm going to start that thing tomorrow. I'm going to work on that project tomorrow. I'm going to do my to-do list tomorrow. And everything is tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. And it's like we're always chasing tomorrow, and tomorrow never really seems to arrive. There's always tomorrow. And so I find that, those of us who want a better tomorrow, we're always putting it off until tomorrow. And so I think personally that we waste a lot of mental energy and we take up a lot of mental space by always pushing things till tomorrow, because up here we know we want to do it, we know we want to get to it, and it's here in our heart. We have this desire, we have this emotional connection to it. The whole situation has an affect on us, like it has an emotional effect on us, and it just creates a lot of what I call anticipation anxiety. We have anxiety around the thing, because we're anticipating when this thing happens, I'll get to it. When tomorrow comes, I'll get to it. And we aren't bold enough to just do it in the moment, and so we think I'll do it tomorrow, but there's all this anxiety that starts to brew because we're in anticipation of, I gotta start this endeavor. I gotta start the climb of the mountain, basically. And we wait to climb that mountain until tomorrow. And so that mountain ends up being in front of us all the time. All the time. And we gotta start climbing the mountain. A better today starts tomorrow. So we gotta get in the space of what we want for ourselves tomorrow. We need to make choices for today. So if tomorrow I want to feel better health-wise, I need to eat right today, I need to hydrate myself today, I need to sleep well tonight, and I need to do the yogic practices and whatever other forms of exercise I may do so that I feel better tomorrow. We can't just continuously be on this, thinking of those those things at the airport that you stand on and they just kind of take you where you're going. It's like an escalator but with no stairs. Right? We can't be on that sort of conveyor belt of life always heading towards tomorrow. It's just not a good place to be, and it's not a healthy place to be, and it's not a pleasant place to be, because we think, I'm going to do this tomorrow, I'm going to start it tomorrow, but then tomorrow comes and then it's not tomorrow, it's today, and then there's still tomorrow. And we just we create all this unnecessary anxiety, and we take up mental space and mental energy. And so I'm here today to just encourage you and to give you reason and good cause for why you should step into those things today. Right? And so today we may have already gotten through most of our day, but what can you do tonight that's going to set you up for a better tomorrow? For me, I'm working on my morning routine and nailing that thing in, get it locked in and dialed in, and it's a consistent thing for me. And I know that happens when I have a really good night before, where I go to bed on time, I journal and I read and I take a hot bath. I know that I'm more likely to get up and do my routine. So I'm setting up my current day so that I have a better tomorrow. So if you're looking for your life to change, you're looking for your life to get better, you're looking for momentum in your life, or you're just feeling blasé about your life, there's no it isn't just, tomorrow isn't going to just come and life is going to change. This is it's like a really convenient, rational, logical excuse for why we don't have to start now. I'm going to start tomorrow. Do you ever find that you do this with New Year's resolutions? I'm going to start that thing on New Year's. Or we find these sort of landmark moments in our life. After the holidays, I'm going to start this thing. At the first of the month, I want to start this thing because I want to know that I started on the first so I can count my days. Or, when I get past this moment, when this work or this project ends, then I'm going to start. But then the project ends, and then we just find another timeline, another moment in time where we want to execute, but then we just keep pushing that thing. And so it's like we're always chasing this endeavor that's never quite started. That's exhausting. It's exhausting just talking about it. And I know because I've been there. I've been there, and I'm very familiar with that playground. And so I'm inviting you to get off that playground of anticipation anxiety, and that playground of mental overwhelm, and the playground of like the mental drain, and then what to speak about what it does to our confidence. Because we say we're going to start something and then we never start it. And we're always talking about how we're going to start that thing, but we don't start it, and eventually we just feel like a phony, we feel like a fraud, or we may not connect the dots and know that that's why we don't have confidence. But when we don't keep the promises that we make to ourselves, it chips away at our confidence. The same way when someone in your life that you love does that to you. It chips away at your confidence in them, and in your faith in them, and your belief in them, and your trust in them. When they say they're going to do something and they don't, and they do it time and time and time again, your confidence in that relationship, and your confidence in what they say, and your confidence in what they believe, and your confidence in your relationship, it all just it just chips away at it until there's nothing left. So, what can you execute today? What can you step into today that's going to create a better tomorrow? How can you plan your night? What can you do throughout the day? And it doesn't have to be this big gigantic thing. I think that's another way that we sabotage ourselves from growing, is that we think that our steps have to be big, that to be like leaps and bounds of steps of growing and moving forward. And that's just not often how it works. It all starts with small incremental steps, tiny little changes. Those things last longer over the long run. The big stuff is like, it may feel awesome in the moment, but it's often short-lived, right? It's kind of what we call the boomerang effect, where like we get shot in, the boomerang goes in, and then as quickly as we got shot in, we exit out. And so it's not about making these big steps and getting spit out because it was overwhelming, it was too much, too fast, too soon. It's about what are the small, tiny steps that I can take. Like if I can just 1 or 2 nights this week get to bed at a certain time, right, and do whatever my nighttime routine is, I'm slowly gearing up towards having 3 or 4 nights out of the week. If I can just get on my mat 1 time during the week, if I can get that down solid, then I can start to build, right? As Lao Tzu says, 1 raindrop at a time, the bucket gets full. So what tiny little raindrop of a step can you take to start filling up that bucket so that your tomorrows are better? Stop chasing an illusory mirage of this utopian tomorrow, of like, tomorrow I'm going to start that thing that's going to be awesome. Wait, today I'm going to start this. How can I start today? Like if I know I'm going to start a green cleanse tomorrow, I have to take steps today. I'm going to take steps today. And if I don't take those steps, then tomorrow gets pushed back till tomorrow, and then till tomorrow. And it's just like this never-ending marathon that we're running, and that's just not a way to live our lives. It's exhausting, mentally, physically, emotionally, and then it just ruins our confidence. So I want you to just think about that. Think about how maybe you have been doing this, and give yourself some compassion. Maybe you didn't know any better. It's okay. It's okay. We have to learn things through experience sometimes. And so if you're having this experience and it's what I'm saying is resonating with you because you've been living it, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Have compassion for your journey. And now you know. And now you can start to self-reflect and you can start to plan like, oh, I have been doing that. Oh my gosh. No wonder I'm so tired all the time, even though I get 8 to 10 hours of sleep and I'm still tired. We have to acknowledge how much mental energy we expend. We may be living in this present moment physically, but our mind is always out into the future. And so we're exhausting ourselves, living out in the future, playing things out and stressing out over what's going to work, what doesn't work, and what do I do when that happens, it doesn't happen. And then we're just like, we have nothing left for right now. So how can you get into your right now moment? Today, right here. A better tomorrow starts today. What can you do today? Maybe today you do your grocery shopping and you sort of prep out your meals for the week. You know what you're going to eat and you have your groceries on hand so that you make good food choices all throughout the week. Maybe a better tomorrow starting today means you're going to go through your your schedule and your calendar, and you're going to lock in when you're going to exercise or go to your yoga or take that jog or do your meditation. Like you've already planned it out. Right? Maybe a better tomorrow starting today means you're just going to start that exercise routine that you've been talking about for so long. You're not going to wait till the 1st or the 15th or a good number in the month so that you can like keep track of your days. Just fucking start. Just start. I'm talking from experience here. I do this often too. I'm like, I want to do it on this day because it's going to be more conducive and I'll be able to track it better and it just like feels clean. And all of that is just a bunch of bullshit. They're bullshit excuses. You are either going to have results or you're going to have excuses. What do you want? What do you want? And if you want results, then that starts today. It starts today. You got to take action today. And it can be one tiny little raindrop of an action, but you got to do it today. Don't put it off till tomorrow. So I really encourage you, what can you start today to create a better tomorrow? Because you know what? You deserve so many better tomorrows. You deserve them, and you are worthy of them, and you are capable of them. You just have to take back control and take back command and take back a bit of agency over your life and make it happen. You're letting the days go by and you're always talking about tomorrow, and you know what? We are all eventually going to run out of tomorrows. We will all, every single one of us, we will run out of tomorrows. There won't be any more tomorrows. So don't meet that last tomorrow with so much still inside of you that you wanted to achieve, that you wanted to do, that you wanted to change. You deserve that in the present living moment. Be willing to do the work to get there. Be willing to start and be willing to be on the journey. And if you don't ever start, it's never going to happen. So you've got to start somewhere. What small raindrop step can you take today? Today, Monday, today, so that you can have a better tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. All right, so I want you to just take a moment to maybe self-reflect and journal on those things and write it out and get clear on what it is that you want. And some of you already know, like you know you are totally resonating with this video because you are doing the same thing. Right? I know that I am not alone in my tendencies. I know that there are so many other people out there with them. I'm just willing to get on the camera and talk about it and share it with you so that you know that you are not alone. I know how hard it is, and I know how easy it is to be like, oh, tomorrow I'm going to start that thing. Tomorrow I'm going to do it. But then it's like tomorrow is always just one more day away. And then our whole life just passes by. And 10 years go by and you're like, oh my God, I've been talking about this thing for 10 years. No wonder we don't feel confident. No wonder we're exhausted. You know, like let's start to reclaim our agency over our lives and start to take action. And again, it only has to be one small step. It doesn't have to be so big. Don't overwhelm yourself with like, I gotta make a big move. You don't need to make a big move. You need to take a bunch of little moves that lead up to a natural happening that looks like a big move. You need to take little steps that ends up looking like to everybody else a big move in your life. Little steps. All it takes is one little step. Start somewhere. Start today. All right, I really encourage you to journal about this and write some stuff out and decide, what can I start today? And don't write it out and then go, I'm going to start this tomorrow. Don't do it. I want you to start today. One thing that you can do today, just freaking start. Just, you owe it to yourself. Start. You are worth the effort. You are worth the time, and you are worth every bit of hard work. Your greatness lies on the other side of that hard work. Your dream life, your goals and your visions for yourself, they exist on the other side of the hard work that you have to lean into. So I'm asking you to lean in today. Lean in today so that tomorrow is better, and the next day is better, and the next day is better. And it just starts to trickle out until it just it becomes so much easier to lean in and to start things. It gets harder and harder to start things when we keep breaking our promises to ourselves because we don't believe ourselves anymore. We chip away at that confidence and we don't believe it to be true. So do yourself a favor and impact your life in all these different areas, in your mental energy, your mental creativity, your mental space that's just free for planning and remembering and all the things that we like to use this mental energy for. Your confidence. And then your health and your well-being, because whatever it is that you want to start, I guarantee you is something that's going to benefit your health and your well-being. So get to it, my friends. Get to it. You are worthy. You are capable. All you have to add to that equation is that you are willing. Be willing. Be willing. Have a willingness to just show up. Have a willingness to show up to the moment. I'm going to just try. One day, one small tiny action step. I know you can do it. All right, Life Warriors, I hope you have a beautiful, blessed Monday. If you think that this video had some kind of value that somebody you know could benefit from listening to, please be a good friend and forward it to them. And yeah, I'll see you next Monday. Have a beautiful, blessed day, and I look forward to